My girlfriend secretly leased out my garage to her cousins for crypto mining, expecting me to pay the massive electricity bills while they keep the profits. I evicted them all and took legal action. I, 35M, an average guy working a regular office job, thought I had a decent life going. I owned a modest house inherited from my father, with a small garage I rarely used except for storage. My girlfriend and I had been dating for over a year, and things seemed stable enough. No major fights, just normal disagreements. But beneath the surface, I sensed something off about how she treated my home like hers, making small decisions without asking. Still, I let it slide, thinking these were tiny quirks, not red flags. About 2 months ago, I started noticing odd spikes in my electric bill. Huge spikes. At first I blamed the season. Maybe the AC was working overtime or the heater was malfunctioning. But as the weeks passed, the charges became astronomical. Hundreds, then thousands more than usual. Confused, I ventured into the garage I barely open these days, suspecting maybe a wiring issue or a breaker problem. What I found left me speechless. Rows of whirring machines, blinking lights, tangled cables, and a humming noise so loud I wondered how I didn't notice sooner. My garage had been transformed into a makeshift crypto mining farm. My girlfriend's cousins, 3 of them, hunched over monitors, barely looking up as I entered. "What the hell is this?" I demanded, voice sharp. One cousin shrugged. "We're just running our rigs. Your girlfriend said it's cool." My jaw tightened. She said what? This is my house. I never agreed to this. They exchanged glances, then one muttered, "She said you'd be fine with it, that you wouldn't mind the bills." Furious, I stormed back inside, where my girlfriend was sipping tea in the living room. "Care to explain why my garage is full of crypto miners and why I'm paying through the nose for electricity?" Her eyes flicked up, feigning innocence. "Oh, that. I thought it was a good idea. My cousins needed a place and you have so much unused space. Plus, they'll profit, and we can share eventually." My head throbbed. Share? They're running these machines, making money for themselves, while I pay the electric bill. How is that fair? She rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic. You earn a decent salary. Electricity is your contribution. They do the work, we get a cut." I stared in disbelief. "We get a cut? Did I sign anything? You never even asked me. You just gave them my garage?" Her entitlement surfaced. "It's not a big deal. Family should help each other out. Stop whining about money." The dismissive tone, the assumption that I'd foot the bill, my tolerance shattered. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a calculated move to exploit my property and resources. I decided right then I wouldn't be their cash cow. I'd put an end to this scheme. If she and her cousins thought I'd roll over, they were in for a rude awakening. The next day I contacted a lawyer friend for advice. He confirmed my suspicions. I had every right to evict unauthorized occupants from my property. Also, installing mining rigs without my consent and running up my utilities could be seen as theft of services. He advised gathering evidence, photos of the rigs, electric bills, and any texts from my girlfriend admitting her plan. Armed with my phone, I returned to the garage. The cousins glared at me when I took pictures. One cousin stepped forward, arms crossed. "We have a deal with your girlfriend. We're not leaving." I smirked. "You have no deal with me. This is my property. You have 24 hours to remove all this equipment or I call the police." They scoffed. "You wouldn't dare. Family always comes first." I didn't bother explaining they weren't my family. I headed back inside and confronted my girlfriend again. She was on the couch, scrolling through her phone as if nothing happened. I showed her the electric bill, triple my usual cost. "Explain how this is okay," I said. She shrugged. "Look, once they start making big profits, they'll pay us back. We'll all benefit. Stop being stingy." My anger surged. "You never consulted me. You never gave me a choice. This is my home, my bills, and you're basically renting out my space to your cousins for free while I cover the costs." She flipped her hair dismissively. "It's not free. We'll get something eventually. Trust me." Her entitlement was staggering. "No," I said firmly. "I'm done. They have 24 hours to clear out. If not, I'm calling the police and having them removed. And you, pack your things too. We're finished." Her mouth fell open. "You're breaking up over this? Over a little electricity?" She tried guilt tactics. "I thought you loved me. We're supposed to build a future together. My cousins mean a lot to me. You're so selfish." I shook my head. This isn't about love, it's about respect and boundaries. You violated both. You put your cousin's profits above our relationship. You manipulated me into footing the bill for their operation. That's not love, that's exploitation. She tried another angle, tears. I was under pressure from them. They said they'd share profits and help us. I just wanted us to have more money. Crocodile tears didn't move me. If you wanted to help them, we could have discussed it. Instead, you snuck around behind my back. I stepped out to call the electric company, reporting suspicious activity. I also arranged for a local police officer friend to swing by if needed. Meanwhile, I texted the cousins a final warning: remove your rigs or face legal consequences. My girlfriend paced the living room, muttering curses under her breath. She tried calling her cousins, whispering instructions. I caught a phrase: he's serious, we need to act fast. Good. Let them scramble. I was determined to see them gone and hold them accountable. The next morning, I found the cousins still there, rigs humming. Furious, I dialed the non-emergency police line. An officer came by, took my statement, and inspected the garage. Once he confirmed I was the homeowner, and they had no lease or permission, he ordered them to remove their equipment immediately. The cousins argued, claiming they had a verbal agreement with my girlfriend. The officer shook his head. She's not the owner. Without the owner's consent, you're trespassing. They scrambled to dismantle the rigs, throwing me dirty looks. One cousin hissed, "We'll sue you for losses." I chuckled. "Go ahead. You have zero legal standing. I'll countersue for damages and stolen electricity." He paled, realizing I wasn't bluffing. My girlfriend hovered nearby, biting her lip, eyes darting between us. She tried one last plea: "Just let them finish this batch of mining, they'll pay you back." The audacity made me laugh out loud. Pay me back? They never intended to pay. You know it. Enough lies. As they hauled out the equipment, I took more photos, documenting their departure. Once the garage was cleared, I locked it up tight. Then I sat down with my lawyer friend to discuss legal action. He said I could pursue compensation for the inflated electric bills and maybe damages for unauthorized business operations on my property. It wouldn't be a quick case, but it was worth filing a claim. My girlfriend tried to salvage things. She apologized profusely, blamed her cousins for pressuring her. But I recalled all the times she dismissed my concerns, acted like I owed her and her relatives something. Her sudden regret felt hollow. I told her I wanted her out of my house by the end of the week. She gasped, "Where will I go?" I shrugged. "That's your problem. You chose to side with your cousins against me, to exploit my home. I don't trust you anymore." She switched to anger. "This is my home too. I lived here for months." I reminded her she never paid rent, never contributed to the mortgage. She was just staying with me as a guest, and now that invitation was revoked. She threatened to accuse me of mistreatment, but I had recordings of our conversations where she admitted to the scheme. I could prove her involvement. If she tried to slander me, I'd defend myself vigorously. Realizing her precarious position, she softened. "Please, don't do this. Let's talk. We can fix it." I'd heard enough empty promises. I moved her belongings into boxes and placed them in the living room. She wailed, "You can't treat me like this." I answered calmly, "I'm treating you exactly as someone who abused my trust deserves." With that, I walked away, leaving her to contemplate her actions. Over the next few days, she left, shamed and furious. Her cousins tried contacting me, hoping to avoid legal trouble. I refused to negotiate directly, referring them to my lawyer. He sent them a formal demand letter for the extra electricity charges and a warning that I'd sue if they didn't pay up. They complained, calling me greedy, but I relished their panic. They expected me to cover their costs while they raked in crypto profits. Not a chance. My girlfriend's final messages were desperate apologies, pleas for a second chance. She claimed she acted under pressure from family, never meant to hurt me. But I remembered her dismissive tone, her entitlement, her willingness to let me foot the bill. She only regretted getting caught. I blocked her number. My lawyer followed through with a small claims case against the cousins. They eventually settled out of court, paying a portion of the electricity bill. Not the full amount I wanted, but enough to cover the extra costs and prove I wouldn't be taken advantage of. They slunk away, their crypto dream ruined. My garage returned to normal, empty and quiet. I invested in better security measures and considered renting it legitimately to someone trustworthy. The ordeal left me wary, but also satisfied that I stood my ground. In the end, I learned that trust must be earned, not assumed. My girlfriend and her cousins felt entitled to my resources, treating my kindness as a weakness. By standing firm, I forced them to face consequences. Sure, I lost a relationship, but it was a relationship built on lies and exploitation. Better to end it now than let it fester. With the legal matters closed, I moved forward, focusing on my life, career, and honest friendships. I refused to be anyone's free ride. The satisfaction of evicting them, taking legal action, and watching them scramble was a hard-earned reminder that I deserve respect and honesty in any partnership.